2014 HOT6 Cup last big match, semi-final.
Welcome back to the GSL HOT6 Cup, our last big match of the year. So far, we've seen MarineKing versus Zest. MarineKing actually went up 2-1. Zest all-inning twice. The third game, a very cool little timing attack there by MarineKing. Moves out with a bunch of siege tanks and some bio, and Zest maybe mismanaging his spells a little bit and going down. So far, a pretty good series.
I gotta say, weird, crazy games from these two. Not what I'm used to at all. MarineKing actually doing the Marine SCB all-in with the tanks. We haven't seen that, I would say, as much, with the exception of innovation, we haven't seen that since MarineKing was on top.
Yeah. It's
now we're here in 2014, he used it in the semifinals.
I guess TY has been doing a few siege tank attacks here and there. We'll see if he keeps using it, because he was trying to do something on Overgrowth. I think it was the same build, to be honest. May have decided that suddenly this build is good again. It's kind of funny. Like, remember when Supernova started that? Just crushed through Code A1 season with it. He's like, I don't know, siege tanks and Marines, pretty good together. And
they're not that bad. If your opponent makes one mistake, they get punished.
Definitely. All right, well, excited to get into this fourth map. Will Zest all in again? Oh, God, it's Nimbus. Oh, no. This is like the hardest for PvT. Oh my God. We'll see what spots he gets, but that back natural is so droppable. Oh,
let's.
It's almost as if Terran has a Nidus into your back natural.
Well, and out of all the people that could possibly use the exploits on this map for Terran, I'd say MarineKing, especially how he's playing right now. Why not? He might even 3-1 this.
He could. He could.
And then you got to be thinking, shame on you, Zest, for trying to all in on this guy.
Yeah, shouldn't have done
That's been tried, tested, and proven not to work.
That is a fact. Well, we'll see what he does this time, Tasteless.
All right, guys, we're going to go into game number 4 here in the semifinals. MarineKing against Zest. In the bottom left, in the red, we have our Terran from the past of StarCraft 2.
MarineKing.
A blast from the past.
Oh, a siege tank. Hi, siege tank. Hi, Tasteless.
Talking siege tank. That's right, I'm a talking siege tank. Cue in the kids' movie of Tasteless and his talking siege tank. Cue in the feel-good movie of the summer, or I guess of the Christmas season. In the upper right,
this guy.
This guy. Generally considered to be the best Protoss in the world, although did not place at BlizzCon. He did win IESF, but he might only get in the top 4 here, which for him I think would be a shocker.
To be fair, he lost a life at BlizzCon, who ended up winning the whole thing.
That's a good point.
So
that does say something.
We can't hold that like too much against him. Life is like a god tier Zerg. Well, it looks like MarineKing setting himself up again for a command center first. It'll be his 3rd in a row. So, could frustrate Zest a bit, especially since he's not scouting him first.
Yeah, he'll check the bottom right and then go ahead and go to the bottom left.
Yeah, it means he'll have his Cyber Core already started, so he can't even get like a quicker Nexus at all. Because sometimes, like, if you scout him first, you're just like, oh, okay. You don't build your second pylon if it was close enough or something, and you know, you get that Nexus pretty quickly, and you don't really mind. But in this case, not going to be able to happen.
That's one of those gray area parts of StarCraft, is that when you scout, even if you scout out at the right time, if it just so happens he's in the last spot you check, out of all the things that are random that can happen in the game, that's probably the worst thing that can happen. Like, if you scout early, that means you have less minerals, and then you just get there to where you can't get in his base, or you get there later than you could have had you not. If you just happen to have an optimal path you went through.
Yeah, like this is like
and that really
is
matters
StarCraft
a lot.
RNG. What we just saw here.
Yeah, this is the closest thing you get to the RNG feel.
This is one of the reasons like 4-player maps get vetoed way more than other maps.
Yeah, because a 1-on-1 map you can get there. You know when you go there where he's going to be. You also know that if you're going to cheese, how effective it is. I mean, we've seen some weird cheeses on 3-player maps where cheese spot 1 is not as strong as cheese spot 2. You have to make it somewhere in between the two of them.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's fine, though, because even though he scouted him later and gets a little bit behind on that, at least MarineKing isn't bottom right, where he'd be able to drop instantly.
You know, if he was bottom right, that back natural is like, it's hilarious. MarineKing takes a third and then just goes ahead, drops in the natural, and then he's back in 1 second. It's hard.
Got some support here for MVP. MarineKing.
Yeah.
A lot of fans out there watching.
Yeah, MarineKing.
It's kind of cool now that we have these players that, you know, I'd love to see like a Fruit Dealer or somebody else come back like that, but
that would be great.
MarineKing is, I mean, what, he's Season 2 GSL. Nestea beat him, right? This is way long back. Yeah,
yes,
Season 2
2
of GSL.
of GSL Open.
Yep. And before that, it was Fruit Dealer against Hope Torture, who was actually into the rainbow.
Some good days, some good times.
Hope
like
Torture, the Starcraft ID does not quite roll off the tongue.
No, certainly. That was one of the worst IDs of all time. It looks like, all right, just a robo. Double gas up here. Now, this robo, right now, like, we can't tell what it's going to be. It could be a Colossus all-in, though. That is definitely a possibility. We've seen Colossus Warp Prism all-ins. Those have been kind of neat. Like, you start off with a Warp Prism Colossus for harassment while macroing up. We'll see if he does something like that. If he starts a Warp Prism very soon, that should be what we expect. But this could just be like a macro play. Maybe he's backing up and saying, hey, hold on a minute. In the land of weird cheeses, MarineKing is king. But if I just get out quick Colossus, nothing can kill me. But that is a Warp Prism, so.
He is ruler of all the 7 kingdoms made of cheese, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, he's pretty much. He's very good at the aggressive ones.
He's invading across the sea to where all the dairy is. He's just going to take over everything.
He's one of the first men of cheese.
Yeah.
His blood is pure as far as the aggression goes.
And house cheese.
Yeah. His family crest is 2 Marines on a flag. 2 Marines
sure?
and 1 medevac, and everything's in the red. There's a floating barracks above it that's on fire. Okay, so he's got the Warp Prism. This will be...
It's a floating barracks on fire. You're so funny. I've cast enough of his games. That's very funny to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Marines, the Marauder are pushing out now. We have Thermal Lance being upgraded. Range attack for MarineKing is being upgraded as well. They are in cross spots, so this is a pretty long travel distance. Stim nearing finishing up here, and the factory halfway done here for MarineKing. So he doesn't have any medevacs out yet, so even though Stim's going to be out, he's not at the point where he can really harass, which is going to allow a few more Colossi to be incremented out. And whoa, is he actually, what is he doing? Is he going to actually try to harass with this?
Yeah, this is something that's popped up in the last month or so, pretty heavily, maybe a little bit longer than a month now, like 6 weeks. But this should do a really good job, especially since MarineKing is across the map. He should have his second Colossus out with the help of these sentries in time, and you just drop the Colossus. It's going to have range very shortly, and you make some Zealots out of there. And it's, I mean, look at how far away he is from a Viking. A Viking is the counter to this, yet the starport is not even half done.
Yeah, this could actually completely wreck MarineKing.
Yeah.
He might end up losing his base temporarily. Now he scans up here, and he knows they're coming. Is he actually going to warp in now? So he probably wants to make sure that...
he might be warping in a little bit at home to just make sure he doesn't die. Because it's more important not to die than for this to do extra damage, but obviously extra damage is always nice.
Okay, hitting the refinery, not the most effective.
Yeah.
He picks up and heads out, only losing shields on that Warp Prism. MarineKing is nearly home again. Yeah. But Zest actually managed to survive that attack. So this game will go on.
All right. Oh, look at that! It's an online event! When will the 2015 GSL Season 1 contest start? Leave us exact date and time on the GOMEXP official Facebook. So go check that out right now, and maybe you can win, because our Toast is going there on his phone right now, because I know! I know exactly when!
We're going to win the contest!
I live here, and I'm going to cast
get your phone out now before somebody guesses the day! His Colossus harass is doing really well.
Yeah, look at this. He's doing a good job. Forces him back. Not going to lose it. Notice how a Viking isn't even being made. He's like, well,
medevacs are pretty
all he
important
does
early
is
on.
run away. So yeah. Now this is a lot of sentries, and right now we don't have a single Viking out. So the 3 Colossus is going to be amazing.
Yeah, he could actually push through pretty hard here. He's getting another warp in. This actually might work really well this could actually bring us to game number 5. You notice the structures here. It's not a fault of MarineKing's, but just the way this is set up, he can actually get right up in here and start hitting Marines and Marauders as they pop out. He has more than enough force fields.
He's going to have to, like,
and he actually doesn't even need to use as many force fields as he would normally need to use. Watch this.
Yeah, you just
see. Look, he could just cut off.
And the buildings count as force fields here.
Yeah,
and it's insane. All right, some good micro here. Does pick up that.
Oh, I love how he's picking up and then dropping that back out here.
So well done.
Oh my God, that's so good. That is actually going to be game, I believe.
Look at that.
Wow.
It's a very strong one. We see it on Nimbus pretty often. You either go Oracle or this on Nimbus. That's like the only 2 real builds.
Now there's Vikings out. Do we care that much, I think is the question. Well, we don't have any Stalkers warped in yet. Here they come now. Now, yes, the Colossi should be picked up. He should actually, did he get that in the Warp Prism? He should put that in there. There we go. Puts that into the Warp Prism. I'm sure there's another Colossus on the way.
And these few extra kills, that warp in of Stalker, should end up being enough that this game is over. He's brought him down to 16 SCVs, 14, 13, 12.
A dozen SCVs.
And I'm going to stop counting down there, just like I'm the Orient launch.
Well, there really isn't much else to say, guys. I mean, he's actually warping pylons in right now. This is going to go to game 5.
Yeah.
And what's been a very back and forth series here between these 2 players. You really can't recover with 12 SCVs.
Yeah.
You can't even make out of all these barracks and be making SCVs at the same time.
Yeah, so, he's totally fine. He's just warping more Stalkers. When you're on top of the barracks, that's all it takes.
Yeah, he's sending the Stalkers down now, just hitting the Tech Lab. I think we should have GG here. He's just taking out the rest of these medevacs since he obviously can't keep making medevacs either. I think another warp of Zealots and Stalkers should just clean this up.
Yeah, well, it's MarineKing, so all of these buildings have to be dead.
Yeah, let's wait for the barracks to start flying. And then we're gonna look back and see the MarineKing sigil, which is 2 Marines and medevac and a floating barracks somewhere on the map.
Well, MarineKing continues to try to hold on.
What do they say in House of MarineKing? A player whose buildings are not dead will never die.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how true that is, because if they're burning and they're floating over the cavity on the bottom left side of the map, it's pretty futile. Yeah. So, that is going to be a win there for Zest. That's going to bring us into game number 5 here. Only one of these 2 players goes on to the finals. MarineKing here in what has surprised people around the world who've been following this tournament, getting this deep, despite being counted out by so many. Obviously a great player, but just not up to par with the modern StarCraft 2 players. He is right now 2-2 with Zest, who everybody generally agrees is one of the best, if not the best player in the entire world. Certainly the best for Protoss.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes in the last map. I think I saw that the last map was going to be Catalina. That is possible, which means that very possible we'll see it all in there, but we'll hold on to talk of that. Yeah, it is in fact Catalina. I'm getting confirmation of that. So Catalina being the last map, this map is ridiculously hard, just kind of like Nimbus. You know, these are the 2 maps that normally are vetoed by Protoss.
Yeah.
It's really tough. There's so much drop space that Terran can utilize on you. It's like, you know, this observer-heavy builds, though, have rotated out a little bit, so I guess it's okay in a manner of speaking because no one's really trying for that. But most likely we're going to see some hyper-aggression out of Zest, so MarineKing probably going to want to play a little bit turtly and hold on like he has been doing almost every single time. Certainly before Zest every time.
A lot of people down here packing up this entire studio. As we're getting closer and closer to crowning a HOT6 Cup champion. It is interesting to see how these games have unfolded, especially on Zest's side. We haven't had our late game Zest. The King is back. Thumbs up.
The King never left because the King is Zest guy in the crowd.
The King was in exile.
MarineKing? He's the Pretender King.
Oh, is he the Usurper? I thought he was in.
Well, he's not going to be the Usurper. We're going to get him slapped down.
I thought he was in exile, like Daenerys and Targaryen.
Zest is a Targaryen, but history's going to change.
Now he's back. His dragons are growing.
Well, what's going to happen? He's you know that battle in the river or whatever. No, he's just going to win that battle. He just wins the sword fight and then goes back to his castle. He's like, I don't know. I still rule the 7 kingdoms. Whatever.
Well, it's
Hopefully
final
Dragons will
match
get a buff in the
Demon
Legacy
Kim
of
is
the Void.
buffing the Dragons right now.
Yeah. Have the return of those.
Yeah. When does the next season of Game of Thrones come out? Is that in 3 months from now? I think it is.
I wish
3
it
or
was
4.
that close. I have no idea, though.
I believe it is.
Probably 100 years
It's
from
time
now.
for me
That's
to
how
get
it
my
feels.
4-month Game of Thrones advent calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
There's like so many series I watch. I'm waiting for new seasons to come out. It's just so painful.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you guys are enjoying the games here. We're going to have another great year of Starcraft 2 here at GOM as well. And we're ending it with a bang here.
That's right. Let's go, Tasteless.
Let's do it. Woo! Yeah! Yeah!
Who's he?
In the bottom right, in the red. He's back.
MVP MarineKing.
I feel like in this camera shot we're sneaking up on him.
He turns and goes, whoa!
Oh, oh God.
Oh, God. Don't do that. I'm trying to play.
Yeah.
I'm in the top 4. God, stop.
And in the center left, in the teal, we have our Protoss player. He is.
KT Roaster Zest.
Yeah, same feeling here.
I love that shirt. Those shoulder pads, that looks like a throw rug that my grandmother has on the wall.
That's the new style. All right, well, here's how Artosis perceives himself in the upper right side of that picture.
The horseman or the zealot, I don't know.
That was the zealot. That's a horse. I know you perceive yourself as a talking horse, but you're actually just a normal
Wait,
guy.
I'm not a talking horse?
This is Artosis wants to believe that people are impressed because he's a talking horse that knows a lot about StarCraft, but it's in fact you're just a normal guy that...
I'm just an emu that wants other people not to know he's an emu.
Yeah, I would have said no, a llama that wants other people to know.
Oh, that's it. It was a llama, sorry.
Twitch chat, Artosis looks like a llama who's worried other people will notice he's a llama.
Yeah. Trying really hard to make sure no one figures it out.
Yeah, but wait, are you a llama? You're like, no!
I'm running the biggest scam in the whole world.
Don't people know llamas
If anyone
aren't
knew
allowed
I was
to
a
cast
llama, they'd
video
realize
games?
they actually can't understand what I'm saying. I'm just like, bah.
I'm like, GG, and you're like, people are like, that guy's got a lot of passion over there. I like how he sounds. Like, well, he's not even talking. He's just making llama sounds. All right. We got the Cybernetics core halfway done. It all comes down to this game, by the way.
Indeed, it does. Game 5, pretty exciting.
You have to keep in mind that normally here at GOM, we don't have Final Four and then the finals in the same day.
No.
So that's a bit odd for some of these players because normally you go through a series, okay, and then you're done, or at least a group, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're done, and then you have about a week or 2 weeks to prepare. So this is interesting. They have to get through the best of 5 here and then go to the finals just right after that.
Yeah,
Especially if you're SOS or Sky High.
Yeah, it's much harder for them, I would say, but stuff like that doesn't bother SOS. He doesn't care. He's like the most base player in the whole world.
Yeah, he is pretty based.
Well, the Reaper opening seems like a pretty good call here. It's a really good map for Reaper to be able to jump in and scout. Just scouting what his opponent's doing is the most important thing for MarineKing because, again, you don't want to play like a long macro game here because you are so droppable. Imagine, like, you're trying to take your third base. Your opponent can drop you so easily. You can go from attacking your third to dropping you if you take the one in front of your main. Or if you take the other one, it's like, well, you literally just can't defend all that surface area. There's just too much. That would be a 3-base layout like Overgrowth, but with like 50% more dropping space and 100% in the main. So it's like just really, really tough. He does grab the Twilight. Wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a boy call-in.
I think out of all the maps we've seen, this would be the best one to have done this strat. But the fact that he's done this twice already makes me question the order of builds he chose to do here.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it's all in, though. I mean, it could be like we saw in Foxtrot, where, yeah, he did lose that game, but that was a really nice build he used. It wasn't all in. It was, just like a modern way to get into good tech.
Well, I mean, one thing is if you do this strat, and he sees it, by the way, when you do this strat, a lot of it does come down to how long are you committing with the stalkers. Mm-hmm. You could get like 6 stalkers and just stop doing this and make bunkers and then...
in fact, now that it's been scouted, the whole mind game persists of do I make a bunch of Stalkers? And no, he goes for the Foxtrot type build, and
Okay.
I'm glad to see it. I think that
Well,
this
I think
is a
that
good
would have been a
choice.
huge mistake and a big shock if Zest did go for the all-in.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pro gamer level, and I don't want to say StarCraft 101 because it's not. Pro gamer 101 is that you have to make your decisions off what your player does and does not know. So we know that MarineKing saw that. He knows that can potentially be an all-in. So MarineKing probably going to have to try to defend. The best bet then for Zest is to try to segue into an economic build and maybe balance this out. Now, interestingly enough, MarineKing is just pushing out with this army. And he's about to get combat shields, which, by the way, again, another really, 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 really old build. He's coming out here with.
Stuff like this has come back a little bit just because people rely on that Nexus cannon so heavily.
Yeah.
Like, look, 3 Stalkers, Nexus
Built that up,
cannon.
and I'm surprised he would do this, despite knowing that Blink is coming here. Don't you think that Stalkers could blink and harass, especially the fact that he has to go down the ridge?
If he had gone instantly into 4 gateways with this Blink, he would have like a lot of Stalkers warping in right now, and then Blink, and he would chase this down. He would kill every unit there. So actually, you're right. He like kind of called the bluff and said, "You're not gonna go for like a 4 gate."
I'm a bit surprised.
I've already shown I can hold that. This is going to be more of a regular play. Like, I guess it actually turns out to be a good call by MarineKing, right? You force the Nexus cannon for like cost of 2
he's
Marines.
Definitely got some good instinct there.
Yeah.
I think most players in the final game like this would not have done that. They would probably have stayed back.
That's true. MarineKing has never been known for his caution, though.
Yeah, that is true.
He only looks one way when he crosses the street.
Don't try that at home, kids.
Do not. He doesn't wait for the green man. Sometimes he just runs right across the red man is showing.
We see him blinking away now, and I think this is a bit too late for Zest to really do anything too terribly effective.
Yeah, maybe some light harassment. Look, he's picked off a couple Marines at this point. He's trading shields for a couple units. May as well. He has the speed and skill to be able to do it. As long as he doesn't lose stuff.
Yeah, that's what's most important.
Yeah.
I'm also surprised MarineKing's still out here chasing this. Now, Stim's not done yet, but I guess he feels like he's safer following him versus running away, because when you're running away, it's easier for the Stalkers to do damage. So I guess he feels like he's stuck pursuing. Missile attack for MarineKing is almost done, by the way, as well as that 3rd Nexus for Zest.
You called it missile attack.
I haven't called it missile attack in a long time, but
he'll probably get Carapace next.
you can call it. Any range attack is a missile attack.
That is true. Yeah. I just like that you call it missile.
Armor is not Carapace, though. That's not.
Sure, it is.
Artosis, Carapace is just not the same, man.
Yeah,
sorry.
it is.
I'm sorry. Your lominess has been exposed. Only a human would know that. This is where you go.
It's fantastic. So look at this. Zest is actually going into a full macro game on one of the very hardest maps to do so. He's making 2 forges, and the funny thing is the forges are placed in such a place that is exactly where Medivacs will go and be dropped.
Yeah, how funny.
I can't believe he put him there instead of in between his main and nat. Like, put him in the nat or in between the main and nat in the main. Like, near the natural edge. Because on this edge here, like, if he gets to 2-2 and those forges don't die at all, I'm going to be very surprised. Like, really surprised.
It looks like it's the recipe for disaster, I agree. I would have thought he should have put him tucked behind the second base or something.
It's like some 2011 forge placement.
This is like the old upgrade placement. Like, well, this is back here. It's like, well, in fact, that's where he's going to go if he drops you. And at this level of play, they do drop you there. It's not normally just 2 guys walking into each other in a big battle.
Yeah.
A big Braveheart-like battle in the middle of the map. No. This is a lot more about positioning and harass.
This will be a lot bigger than Braveheart. I rewatched it recently,
and
those armies are tiny. There's like 12 people on the battlefield. I remember when I saw it as a kid, I thought it was like, whoa, it's so epic war. No,
I haven't seen Braveheart in a long time.
If I called everyone that's in my phone, it would be more people that are in those battles. I could field a bigger army than Braveheart.
There are 13 people in Artosis' phone. They all show up. He's like, see? Take that, Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Eat it, Mel. All right.
He's pushing up now. Now, here's where he could actually just pick up and dump this entire army right there on those forges.
I think he has to poke somewhere first. It's like too obvious to go straight in, right? But Zest actually moves over into a different position. He's Kind of ready. He only has one observer, by the way, so he's playing
Oh
pretty
my God.
blind. Oh, God. It's
He's pulled the boys.
Oh, God. He brings all the boys to the yard.
I was thinking about this. Todd asked me at the BlizzCon finals if I could come up with a better term on the spot for pulling the boys, and I thought of it now. Pulling the Todds.
Pulling the Todds.
He's pulling the Todds. Look at all those Todds.
Pulling the Todds.
Pulling the Todds. Thank you. We've.
Oh, here we go.
All right, here we go.
A lot of force fields
this is
available.
actually going to be tough. I don't know if the SCVs are going to get up there.
Well, he can definitely kill the third if he wants, but look at this. Some pretty good force fields. Oh, he's got to pull those Zealots back.
I think that was an questionable engagement there for Zest. I don't think they had a really bad arc for, or unfavorable arc with the MarineKing could use.
He needs to utilize the force fields better. He's like actually letting his units fight.
I think he just lost.
Yeah, I think so.
This just happened.
Well,
wow, MarineKing is going on to the finals.
Wow.
Unbelievable. You can see his mother there supporting him. This is huge. I gotta say though, this is not the Zest I'm used to casting, but at the same time, MarineKing is back.
Yeah, look, if you take, Zest didn't play this series that well, to be honest. If you take build 1 and switch it with this build, like game 1 and 5, that's such better build order
there
choices,
you have it, guys. MarineKing is going on to the finals. He could become a HOT6 champion. HOT6 Cup. Oh my God!
Very.
I actually thought he got attacked by a wolf there for a second. That was Troya, his coach, giving him a hug.
And look at that, his family's so happy he has returned to the spotlight.
Yeah,
here.
he's back.
He's all the way. It's pretty crazy that MarineKing just came out of nowhere and made a finals of a tournament.
This just goes to show you never count anybody out.
No, I guess not.
Even when you're playing your worst at Starcraft, you can come back.
Yeah,
and dominate.
It's pretty impressive, to be honest. He took out some of the world's absolute best Protosses. He took out Hero, Zest, Stats, and Parting to get here. So that's pretty hardcore. Wow. Well, congrats to MarineKing going on to the finals. Now, I bet you one person rooting at home is Sue. He's like, oh, God, please. Please lose in the finals so people forget about me again.
As we see here, MarineKing's mother's down here. She's been brought to tears. I don't know if that's the father next to her, but I believe so.
He's got some watery eyes as well.
Well, of course. I mean, that's the little boy up there. Well, I guess now all grown up and just wrecking.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be in the finals for the final Korean StarCraft 2 event of the entire year.
That's right. Pretty awesome.
Now, we're only just starting today, guys. We have another best of 5 for the other half of the semifinals in just a little bit. That's going to be SOS against Sky High. I'm sure most of you are familiar with SOS. He's that crazy Protoss, really good with strats you can only pull off once, really good at the mind games, really tough to prepare against. Sky High is an old-school Brood War player. Unbelievable to see him here today.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could really ask for a more dynamic Final Four in a tournament, really.
Seriously,
than what we have here. All right, well, here's MarineKing now. He is going to have a breather as he watches the second half of the semifinals. And this will either be a TBT semifinals or a PBT.
Yeah, well, it's going to be exciting either way. Like, this next match, I'm actually so excited about.
I think no matter how the finals turn out, if it's SOS against MarineKing, what an odd pair to have with two totally crazy playstyles. If it's Sky High against MarineKing, it's one of the best Brood War Terrans against one of the best StarCraft 2 Terrans of all time for both of their respective games. And so that'll be cool to see two different Terran players from two different eras duking it out in a mirror matchup that you and I rarely ever cast.
Yeah, it's we don't
really know what TBT looks like as much anymore since we've mostly been casting Protosses here throughout the year.
Well, we'll see who gets to win that match. First, we do have to jump into a little bit of a commercial break. But,
we're going to be back in 10 minutes, so stay tuned here as we go on to the second half of the semifinals here at the HOT6 Cup at GOMTV.